Welcome everyone to this video, and what I'd like us to do today is to do a short practice which is focused on the idea, the concept, or the feeling, we might say, of peace. Now, in a previous video which you may have seen, I talked about the fact that my teacher in India was very clear in terms of explaining and expressing the fact that the goal of yoga is to experience shanti, or to experience peace that rises or radiates from within us. This is really the only kind of lasting peace that we can attempt to experience in our lives. And so what I thought we'd do today is just a short practice with a little bit of breathing and a little bit of chanting to see if we can move ourselves a little bit closer to this feeling of peace. Now, that doesn't mean that for all of us, we will necessarily experience it peacefully straight away. Remember that yoga is a long-term, gradual, subtle, slow process of moving from more agitated patterns of mind to calmer and more stable patterns of the mind. So the other thing that's important is that sometimes when we come to these practices, we can be quite judgmental, if we like, or have certain expectations around what we should expect to feel as a result of the practice. But it's important to remember that we are all in our own stage, and that it's okay for us to be in that stage or in that state, and that when the time is right and when the practice takes hold, then the flowers, you could say, of peace will begin to blossom as an experience within us. So please come to a comfortable seated position. Now, you don't have to be sitting like this. You can be sitting on the floor with your legs crossed and sitting on a block. You may choose to sit on a cushion or a bolster. In addition to that, if you want to sit in a chair, that is also okay. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, the most important thing for the practice, which will be about 10 minutes, let's say, is that you're comfortable and that there's no strain. So whatever position you're in, we'd like to be able to sustain that for, let's say, the next 10 minutes. So once you've come to a comfortable seated position, we're just going to gently lengthen the spine. Again, not causing any tension, so maybe just gently lifting the chest, relaxing the shoulders, and then just allowing the hands, they can either be like mine at the moment, palms down onto the knees or the thighs, whatever is more comfortable, or if you choose, you can turn the hands over, allow the palms to just be open and the fingers relaxed on the thighs or the knees. And then from here, we're just going to gently allow our eyes to close. And just to start with, let us just pay some attention to the feeling, the sensation in the face, and just notice if perhaps we can release or let go of some of the tension in the face. So just take a moment to feel the face, to notice how it's feeling, noticing the sensations, and just seeing if you can relax or soften the forehead, the brow, the eyelids, and even the jaw, the mouth, the lips, and the tongue, just letting them all soften and relax. And then perhaps just allowing as best you can the whole of the body to become more at ease. Just letting go of any tension that is not essential to allowing us to sit up in this position. So gradually becoming more effortless as we become more stable and still in the body. And slowly we're going to be drawing our mind, drawing our attention inwards towards the breath. So just slowly, without doing anything, without trying to change the breath, just begin to notice the sensations that arise with each inhalation and with each exhalation. We may notice that with each inhalation there is a gentle expansion, perhaps in the chest, maybe in the belly. And we may also notice that as we breathe out, there is a release of the lungs and the chest, and maybe just a softening of the belly. But try not to think about the breath and label the experience. Just try to notice experientially what are the sensations that are arising with each inhalation and each exhalation. And then gradually we're going to find our way to an ever so slightly longer inhalation. We're going to follow that with a pause, then an ever so slightly longer exhalation followed by a pause. So as we breathe in through the nose, perhaps lengthening by a few seconds, feeling the chest expanding, feeling the belly expanding, and then just taking a comfortable pause for a moment or two, then breathing out through the nose, releasing the lungs and allowing the belly to soften, followed by a pause. And just continue to try to find a slow, comfortable, smooth breath. As best you can, try not to breathe in with too much effort or with too much force. Just try to allow the breath to flow in comfortably, followed by a pause, and allow the breath to flow out comfortably, followed by a pause. And the focus of the mind is simply the sensations that are arising around each part of this slow and steady breath. Each time the mind wanders away, just notice the fact that the mind has become entangled in another thought, another idea, and just gently bring the mind back and place it back into the breath. And the gradual lengthening of the inhale, the pause, the exhale and the pause, but not to a point where you sacrifice the ability to be comfortable and at ease with each breath. As we do this, we're going to continue breathing in this way, and we're just going to bring one hand and place the palm on our heart center. And as we continue to breathe in this way, we're just going to allow ourselves also to feel the connection between the hand and the heart space. Now, in the yoga text, they tell us that the heart space is the location of this peace that lies within. And we don't have to take that as read. The opportunity is for us to explore and to experience for ourselves that this might be a truth. So slowly begin to feel into the heart space, noticing where your hand is placed. And see if you can visualize on each inhalation that you're actually breathing directly into the heart space. So although of course physically you're breathing in through the nostrils, just see if you can imagine that also as you breathe in, you are breathing in energy directly into the center of your chest. And similarly, as you breathe out, see if you can visualize or feel the reverse, which is the breathing out or the releasing of that energy from the heart space. So follow the breath into the heart space on an inhale. In the pause, just notice the sensations arising in the heart space. And then breathe out the energy from the heart space on your exhale. And then again, experience the stillness at the end of that breath with a pause just for a moment. And let's see if we can visualize and imagine that in our heart space right now, there is an endless ocean of peace. And in this moment, we are just allowing ourselves to enter that ocean of peace. And the more that we focus on that visualization, and the more that we bring our mind into connection with the heart space and the breath going in and out of that center, the more we let go of the distracting thoughts, and the more we can immerse ourselves in the possibility that we are entering and becoming part of that ocean of peace. We continue to breathe with a slow and steady rhythm, and continue to try to establish that connection to this visualization that within our heart space there is this vast expanse, this ocean of peace, which is always peaceful, always unchanging, and always present. Now, the word that expresses this peace in Sanskrit is shanti. So what we're going to do is we're going to chant shanti with the feeling that this chant is arising from within our heart space. So the chant will sound like this. Shanti. And we're going to chant that 12 times together. So let's begin. Remembering to just chant softly and easily, and feeling that sense that the peace, the shanti, is arising from within us. Let's begin. Shanti. 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 6 more. Shanti. 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 Last one. Shanti. Just remain sitting still, comfortably at ease, with your hands on your heart space, and just rest in the vibration of the sound that we have just generated. And see if you can continue to connect in to that space in the heart center where the peace resides and lives within us. We can soften the breath now to a natural pace, but continue to visualize, to connect to the feeling that we are immersed in a calm ocean of peace that is holding us in this moment and allowing us, receiving from us everything that takes us away from peace. So any mental chatter, any tension in the body or the mind, whatever it may be, this ocean of peace absorbs it all, unaffected, unchanging. And slowly, as we practice more and more, we are able to touch this place more easily, arrive back at home more quickly, and to allow this peace to arise more and more frequently in our lives as our minds calm and settle. Let us bring the left hand down back onto the left knee or thigh, relaxing the shoulders, maintaining a soft face, soft skin. Just take a moment to neutrally observe how you're feeling in this moment. Noticing the sensations in your body, noticing the feeling of your breath, perhaps even observing the mind for a moment or two. And then we can finish by bringing our hands together at heart center. And together we can just offer peace to ourselves, peace to those around us, and peace to those beyond. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye-bye.